Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel JP Khasi Tech. So if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe. Now let's start the project. First of all, let's go to the XML file. So click here and go to layout. From layout you can go this XML file. Okay, so open that file and then here we are going to create some object. So first I'm gonna create the text view. Okay, text view, height and weight I'm gonna give wrap content, close it. Now next I'm gonna give the text for the text view, so I'm gonna say it is the first. Okay, first activity. Now increase the size as the text size is very small, so you can increase it. So I'm gonna say text size, and the text size I'm gonna give just 40 sp. Okay, now it's look good, but I want to give one more thing, which is the text style, which will be in the bold. So I'm gonna say text style I want to give to bold. Okay, now let me give the checkbox and height and width I'm gonna give the same wrap content. Now next I'm gonna give the ID for this, and the ID is I'm gonna say CHHK number 1. Okay, now let me give the button. I'm gonna say button. Okay, so the height and width as usual. Okay, now next I'm gonna give the text for the button, and the text is send data. Okay, now next I'm gonna need the ID for this button, so I'm gonna say ID, and the ID will be just nothing ptn underscore, and then this is send. Okay, so you can use any as you want. So let's increase the text size because it is little small. I want that will be little bigger, so I'm gonna say the text size is 30 sp. Okay, now it's look good. Now let me bring this one in the center and arrange in the vertical. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, the first I'm gonna say gravity because I'm bringing all the object in the center. Okay, gravity center. I want this object to be arranged in vertical, so I'm gonna go with the set orientation. So I'm gonna say orientation and it is vertical. Okay, so now can you see the object is arranged in vertical? Now let me give the distance between each object. So first I'm gonna go with the text. So I'm gonna hit match without matching top, and then I'm gonna give the top with the 30 dp, and the next I'm gonna go for the rest. I'm just gonna copy this one margin, and then I'm gonna go with the buttons. Okay, just paste here. Can you see the button is little far now? Just arrange the code, Control Alt L. Okay, now go in the Java. You can go from here. This is our Java class. So inside the Java class, let's find the variable of those object first. So I'm gonna say private, and it is first checkbox. Okay, checkbox, and then the variable of the checkbox I'm gonna say chhk1. Okay, just close it. Now need for the button I'm gonna say private, and then it is a button, and now the variable for the button I'm gonna say button underscore scnd. Okay, now close it. Now let's initialize the button. Okay, and then the checkbox. So first I'm gonna go with the checkbox. Just copy this one variable and then paste here. Okay, now equal find view id. So id will be inside the resources r dot id dot, and the checkbox id I have give this. Okay, check one. Now close this. Now for the button also I'm gonna do the same. Okay, just copy this one variable, paste here, and then say equal find view by id. Okay, now r dot id dot, and the button's id was button send. Okay, so now close this one. Now everything done, just Control Alt L to arrange the code. Now set the on click method for the button. So I'm gonna take this one, copy, and then paste here. Now I'm gonna do dot set on click listener. Okay, now in the parameter I have to give new view dot on click listener. Okay, so just outside this parameter you have to give the open and close curly bracket. Okay, now bring the cursor here in this straight line and then press alt click enter, so you will get this import method. So just do implement method. Okay, then click OK. Next, this is the on click method for the button. Okay, now whenever the user will click on this button, I want that the data will be sent from this activity to the second activity. Okay, now let's create the method for sending. So I'm gonna call it private, okay, void, and then I'm gonna give the name for the method as send underscore data. Okay, now give open and close parenthesis, and outside you give open and close curly bracket. Now inside the curly bracket we have to define the method to send the data, okay, which is boolean data. So I'm going to send the boolean data. Then first we are converting this checkbox data into the boolean, then we will send that boolean with the help of intent. Okay, now let me check the boolean. I'm gonna say it is nothing but just the chk underscore value. Okay, I'm just sending the value from the checkbox. Okay, now I will extract the value from the checkbox. So just take the variable of the checkbox, copy, and then paste here. Okay, now I can say dot is check. Okay, now done, close it. Now next we have to put this value in the intent, okay, and then we will send. Okay, so let me implement the intent. I'm gonna say intent, and the variable is I equal new intent. Okay, now inside the parameter we have to define from this class where you want to go. First I'm going to give the context, so context will be this comma. So I'm gonna go to the second activity, right? So I will say second activity, and the second activity is Java class, so I'm gonna call it class. Okay, now done, just close this one. Now I'm gonna put the boolean inside the intent, and then we will start the activity. Just take the variable I dot put extra. Okay, dot put extra. Now inside this put extra we are going to put the string name and then the value together. Okay, so I'm gonna create the string name. Inside the double quotation I'm gonna write my name just for the name purpose, string, and then next I'm gonna put the value here. Value means this is checkbox boolean value. Now copy this one and then just paste over here. Okay, now can you see it's done? Now close this one. Control Alt L to arrange the code. Okay, now we will start the activity. I can say start this activity. Okay, start the activity but together with the intent. What is the shortcut name of intent? It is I, right? So just put I here. Now done. Now let's say here whenever the user will click this button, I want this method to be called, right? So I'm gonna call here call send data. Okay, so this method will be called, and then which is this method. Now can you see here is red because the second activity we did not create yet, so we will create the second activity, right? Now for the first activity we have done everything. Now let's create the second activity. Remember the name of the second activity must be same whatever you have given here. Okay, copy this one and then now go here, and then let's create the second activity. Just go here on the top. You can see this is the Java. Inside the Java you will get one file, and inside that one file you will get this main activity, and then just on top of that one just right click here and then go to new. From new you choose Java class. Okay, now from Java class, as I told you, the name must be same, this one. So name you give whatever you copy from there, paste. Okay, now the kind will be class, and then super class mean the class that you want to extend. So I'm going to extend it with the app compat activity. Okay, app compat activity, clear? Now just click OK. Now can you see one more activity is added here? So this is the second activity. Okay, so now we need the XML layout for this activity also, and let's go and create the XML activity. Right click on the res folder, go to new, and then choose Android resources file. Now here one pop-up will be there. Okay, in the pop-up remember the resources type will be layout. Okay, click here. Now the root element will be linear layout, and the name for the file. Okay, name for the file mean like this. Inside the layout this is the activity name, the main. Okay, so we have to create another one, so I'm gonna name it like second underscore activity. Okay, so second activity. Now everything done, just click OK. Okay, now can you see one more file is added here inside the layout? So this is our second layout. Okay, now let's go and create the object in the second layout, because we are retrieving the value from the first layout and receive in the second layout. So in the second layout we are going to show the boolean value in the checkbox. So let's go and create. I'm gonna select the second activity, XML. Okay, now to arrange the code, Control Alt L. Okay, now just create one checkbox here. So I'm gonna do CHEAK checkbox. Okay, now height and width I'm gonna give the wrap content and then close it. Now I need the ID for this also. Okay, the ID must be unique, means different. Now the ID do CHHK and this is ID number 2. Now done. So but I want this checkbox to be in the middle. How we can do? Just go in the main linear layout, then change the gravity. I'm gonna say gravity and bring it in the center. Clear? So this is look good. Now I'm gonna give one text here so that you will know this is the second activity. So how we can do this? Just go here and then open angular brackets. I'm gonna say text view. Okay, the height and width I'm going to give wrap content, close it, and then I don't need any ID this one just to show that this is the second activity. So I'm going to give the text only. So text I'm going to give this is second activity. Okay, now let me give the text size so that you will be able to see properly. So I'm going to give the text size as 40 sp. Okay, so now you can see this is the second activity. Now let me give the bold so it will look little good. X trial. Okay, so I'm going to give it bold. Finish. Now can you see the object is too close? Now let me bring it a little far. So I'm going to say margin top, and margin top I'm going to give 30 dp. Okay, now it's look very good. Now let's go to the second activity Java class. So go here, and then first of all we have to implement this one inside the manifest file. So how we will do? Just let's go here. Just below here you can see after the values you will see this Android manifest file. Open that one, and then just after this first activity, this is the first activity, and then after that first activity here you create new activity. So I'm going to say activity Android colon name, and the second activity will be second activity. Now close it. Okay, Control Alt L to rearrange. Now everything done. Now let's go back to this second activity again. So just go here, second activity Java class, and then here we have to implement the on create method for the second activity. So let me do that. So I'm gonna say on create. Okay, on create, inside the parameter we need bundle 7 instead. So remember this first one. Okay, bundle 7 instead. On create method, bundle 7 instead, but we don't need this null label. Okay, if you get this null label, so you remove this one. In some cases you don't get, so just remove this also. Okay, now next we have to link the second Java class with the second layout activity. So how we can do that one? Just go here and then call the method set content view. Okay, set content view. Now next here we have to define the address. So I'm gonna say the file is inside the resources file, and inside the resources I have a folder named layout, and inside that layout I have a file name second activity. Okay, done. Now here we will initialize the checkbox from the second activity, which means this one we are going to initialize this checkbox in the second activity here. Okay, now let me just go here and then first find the variable private, and this is a check box. This is a checkbox, and the variable I'm gonna say chhk, and this is number 2. Okay, now variable is finished, and go on click method and then initialize the checkbox. So I'm gonna take the variable this one, I'm gonna copy and then paste so that you will know from where the object is came. Okay, now equal. Now I'm gonna say find view by id. Inside the parameter I'm gonna say r dot id dot, and the id for the second checkbox was second. Okay, then close this one. Now we have initialized. Now we need one more thing. We have sent the data boolean from the first activity. Now we will receive here the boolean. So let me say it is a boolean, and the shortcut name nothing, it is just a check underscore, and then I'm gonna say this is some kind of value. Okay, so equal. Now we have to get the intent first, so I'm gonna call get intent. Okay, and then dot what I said, I have sent the put extra, right? So I'm gonna call dot get boolean extra. Okay, so get boolean extra. Now inside the parameter I'm gonna define the string name and the value by default it will be false, but I'm gonna call the string name. Let's go for the first activity first. What was the string name? Go here and then now check Remember here I send the put extra and the name was John. Okay, so copy this one, string name, and then now let's go again to the second activity, and then here you paste the name first but inside the double quotation. Okay, put here name John, now give comma, and then here the default value you can give false. Okay, now the value is false. Now close this one. Now put this boolean value in the checkbox of the second activity. So just take this one variable, copy, and then paste here. Okay, now I'm gonna call it dot set check. Okay, now inside the checkbox I'm gonna put the value from where, from this one that came from the intent first activity, right? So I'm gonna take this one variable and then I'm gonna put inside this one. Okay, now everything is done. Now let's run the project and see if it's worked. Okay guys, the apps has launched successfully. Now let's see what happened whenever we will send data from one activity to another activity. Let's see. Let me click without the sending. Okay, so just send. Can you see the activity a second now reach, but still there is no checkbox is checked because I did not send the data. Now let me go back and then let's send this checkbox. I check and then let's send the data and then receive. Can you see in the second activity the checkbox is checked because I have sent the data from first activity and then I receive in the second activity with the help of this get intent dot get extra boolean. Okay, so the string name, this one I sent from the first activity and I put that boolean value in the checkbox. So if you will go back and then uncheck that one, so this time it will send the empty checkbox, and in the second activity it will receive the empty value and then it will put on the checkbox here. Okay, so let me check. Can you see in the second activity the checkbox is empty because in this time the second activity just received the empty box and then it put the empty box. So only this guys for today. Thank you so much for watching.